Hey guys, Movie Fan 23 here. I just got done watching a new Blu-ray that I actually got a couple of days ago. Ordered it from Amazon, pre-ordered it, watched it just there. Last night at Soho. I didn't get to see this in cinema. I was going to, but COVID had to fuck my life up and ended up missing out on this one. So I seen it. I'm a huge Edgar Wright fan. Love the Cornetto trilogy. Love Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Love Baby Driver. And this movie, guys, I fucking adore. This movie is amazing. Um, Basically, the plot of this movie is you got this girl played by is it Mackenzie something? Uh, Tom Thomas and Mackenzie, whatever the fucking name is, right? And basically, she's a girl. Her mother passed away by suicide. Um, she's living with her grandmother, and she's a very happy girl that's like wants to become a fashion designer. You know, she's passionate about it, so she's going to London to study fashion in this college. So she ends up going to London, whatever, wants to make her mother proud, wants to do it for herself and for her mother. Um, Goes into her roommates. You can instantly tell that these bitches are fucking fake and they're dickheads. And essentially, you know, they make fun of her. They go on nights out. They do what college students do. She pretends to be they pretend to be friends with her at the beginning, but they talk shit about her in the toilet and make fun of her. There's a guy by the name of Jonathan. No, not Jonathan. Sorry, John. Who's this guy right here, who takes a liking to her character straight away. They become friendly with each other. Although she's a bit shy and introverted at the beginning, people at parties make fun of her. People at pubs and stuff make fun of her, and she basically continues doing fashion, but basically gets bullied by these bitches. So because the living situation is not working out, she ends up moving to this place in Soho, and old house with this old woman actress who unfortunately passed away last year. Actually look her name up now because she's famous. Just her name isn't. I believe she was in Game of Thrones. I could be wrong. Not a fan of Game of Thrones. There, I said it. Hold on one sec. Bollocks. Sorry. Fucking. Oh fuck! I'll look it up in a bit. Anyway, this woman lets her come in, goes through the house rules with her, sits down, lies in the bed, you know, is interested in London, goes out, does normal shit, and is interested. She seems to be interested in 60s pop culture, like music, fashion design. She makes her own shit. And what ends up happening is when she falls asleep, she ends up being brought back in time to the 60s, and when she looks in the mirror, she sees the reflection of Anya Taylor-Joy's character Sandy, and Sandy wants to be a singer, and you know, people are constantly hitting at her on bars, and especially this one guy hits on her at a bar, and she's like, no, I don't want anything to do with you. Then he's like, she goes, how do I become a singer? And they're like, nah, you gotta talk to that guy over there. So then Matt Smith, always end up saying Lucas for some reason, but Matt Smith plays the guy who's like a, you know, singer. So they dance, they kiss, they make out, they have sex, whatever. And then she wakes up every single day, like right afterwards, and then with a set of confidence, she looks forward to doing stuff like that. She draws photos of this woman. She sees her in the mirror. Even, you know, constantly going back to this place all the time. And she's loving it. You know, she gets to sing, perform for people, make out with Matt Smith, have sex with him, and all that stuff. And basically ends up loving it, and even dyes her hair blonde in real life, and gains a bit more confidence. And she starts working at a bar, an Irish bar, coincidentally. And actually, Pauline McLean plays the the boss, which was great to see an actress from Father Ted in this movie. Um, but yeah, so that, her life is normal, whatever. Up until that, and then as the movie goes on, it starts to get a lot more sinister, and that's when the horror vibe comes. Matt Smith starts being a pimp, and getting her to pick up, get with other guys and sing, like, oh, that's a lovely name, and have sex with them, and you know, eventually, uh, fucking Ellie, her character Ellie, keeps seeing this old man in a bunch of different places, and has a suspicion that it's Matt Smith's character, which it's not. Spoiler alert. It's a spoiler review anyway. And then as the movie goes on, more sinister shit happens. She starts seeing ghosts everywhere, ghosts attacking her. She's running away. She even tries going to the cops at one point. Everyone makes fun of her. She tries to find out murders from the 60s and basically wants to know what happened, because she goes to a Halloween party, sees some crazy shit, brings him home, they're about to have sex, and then she sees Matt Smith stabbing Anya Taylor-Joy's character, Sandy, in like the upstairs mirror. The woman gets annoyed, the old woman, and eventually what ends up happening then is she wants to find out more about what's happening, and she lets him in on it. Weird visions happen, and eventually we build up to the finale, where we find out that the old woman is actually Sandy, and Sandy is actually the main villain. Matt Smith's still a bit of a dick, and all the other guys are dicks, but the ghosts are actually need Anya Taylor-Joy's help. Not Anya Taylor-Joy, sorry. Ellie's help, to get out, to be saved, because the old woman, when she was Anya Taylor-Joy, slit a bunch of their throats and hid the bodies underneath the room, which is why it's possessed. So she stops them, the girl kills herself, the house goes on fire, she becomes a fashion designer, saves the fucking day, she gets with the guy, gets her old hair colour back, her nan and her mother are proud of her, and we see the reflection in the mirror. I basically summed up the movie, but this has a big plot. But this movie, like, what can I say? I could honestly talk about this for hours. This is a fucking masterpiece. This is one of the best horror films I've ever seen. It is such an original movie. You could argue it's a ghost movie. This is an original fucking horror film. And this is Edgar Wright's first proper serious movie, because he's been known for comedies. Like the Cornetto trilogy is a comedy trilogy. Scott Pilgrim's a full-on comedy as well. Baby Driver has a lot of comedy, but it is a bit of a drama at times. But this is mainly a drama and horror, and I fucking loved it. First of all, cinematography. Dude, I don't know like who the cinematographer was on this, but the fact that they did not nominate, I don't think they nominated this for an Oscar this year, which is fucking insane. They gave, look, I love No Way Home, they nominated that for special effects, really, but they can't nominate this. What the fuck? This movie, like, there are shots of London, right, of Anya Taylor-Joy's, or not fucking Anya Taylor-Joy, sorry, Thomasin Mackenzie's character walking around London, and big wide shots, right? There's an amazing shot where she gets underneath when the first night that she goes to Soho in the 60s, she fucking throws the sheets over herself, and it's in the trailer as well, and there's a nice like panning shot out, and then she's all of a sudden in the 60s, and you see the Sean Connery, one of the James Bond movies, playing, and it's really nice and colourful, and she walks into this bar, and you get introduced to Anya Taylor-Joy's character, and she's walking and she's looking hot, and the girl's like, "Hi, hot stuff, how are you?" and all that. "Wanna dance?" And she's like, "No, I'm busy," And then we get introduced to Matt Smith, who was fucking excellent in this movie, dude. He was sinister. This motherfucker was sinister. I knew straight away that he wasn't going to be a good character. I knew, like, at the beginning, like, he's a good character, but I knew he wasn't going to be a good guy. So, at the beginning, he's like, "Hi, you going to help you in this business?" And then they're kind of flirting, then they're dancing with each other. He's like, "She doesn't want to dance with you." He's like, "I wanted to dance. She's a goddamn slut." You know, he's like, "I wanted to dance," and like, this guy's being pushy. "She's a slut," and then he just fucking punches the guy in the face. You know, and he gets up again and punches him, and then they start kissing and making out and giving hickeys, and you know, they're like, "We can buy these clothes," you know, and he seems normal at the beginning, and they're making out outside the shop, and there's a great recurring shot where Ellie keeps waking up, and you know, over and over again, and the more it happens, the more nervous she gets. But I really liked her character, and like, I like what she goes through in the movie. At the beginning, she's really, you know, she's dancing around in her room. She's excited. She's enthusiastic. She's nice energy. She's like rehearsing in the mirror, going, "Yo, you look great. Oh yeah." And then her grandmother's like saying goodbye to her, and then there's a scene where she's in a taxi, and the taxi man is being a fucking creep, like, instantly being a goddamn creep. Uh, Constantly going like, "Oh, you a nice girl. You want more to cover up? Your legs are looking nice." And she's like, "No, I think I'll walk." "No, no, mate. That's a couple of stops away. No, I just remembered I need to go to the shop. You know, before I get off." He's like, "All right, suit yourself. Suit yourself, love." And she runs away, and there's just, you know, so much great tension and suspense, and it's uncomfortable, and it kind of shows like how uncomfortable it is for women in this time. Um, I thought that the shots of London, you know, everything was in frame. There's this amazing scene where she's doing research in the library, and the fucking cameras like, it gets the whole library and pans through, you know, and she's typing there. I thought the fucking practical effects that they had were fucking amazing. That scene where John brings her home and they're about to have sex, and she sees Matt Smith, and she's like, "Leave her alone," and fucking stabbing her over and over again as a ghost, and they managed to blend in the CGI of the ghost and the practical effects with Anya Taylor-Joy's character being fucking stabbed, and the blood and gore was great. Um, you know, it fucks with your head as well. It's very psychological in terms of that. You know, each fucking moment in this movie, there's like a fucking, like, you know, near the end, you know, when she's like, "Okay," she goes to the guy, "Look, if I'm not out in like 15 minutes, come get me." He's like, "Okay." So she goes in, because she'd probably kill you after last night. So she goes in or whatever, and, you know, talks later, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay." And you know instantly something's up. Um, and then she ends up telling the entire backstory of that it was her that is the girl, because there are photos of this girl. It's like, "Did a girl die there?" It's like, "Yeah, a lot of people died in London, but then again, I died a million times that night." So we find out that she actually didn't die, and then we get a bunch of flashbacks of her slitting and killing these guys, and then just this amazing fucking finale where, you know, she ends up being drugged and like runs, and then the guy opens the doors like, "Here, I'm here to see if Ellie's back." It's like, "Oh no, she's not in," or whatever. I was like, "No," and then she's like, "No, run!" And fucking stabs and stuff like that, and stabs the guy in the blood, and he's like, "Fire!" And then she runs up. Then she's trying to stab him, and then there's the fire, and then there's this amazing fucking sequence where you see Anya Taylor-Joy going, "Come back here, you bitch," and stabbing on the fucking glass, and, you know, trying to run away, and then Matt Smith, and then like they walk in, and fucking all the people are fucking bursting out. She's like, "Open the door!" And fucking everyone is smashing through the walls and the floorboards, and fucking she's just there like this, and, you know, she picks up the phone and they're like, "Save us!" And then there's the final sequence where you don't have to do this. Then she slits the throat, and the girl she's like, and then she goes into Anya Taylor-Joy, and it's the first time that both of the characters interact with each other, and she's like, "Stop trying to save me, save yourself." She runs off, then she's covered in blood, the house goes on fire, she gets brought into hospital, and it's just such an exciting finale. The movie keeps you gripped as time goes on. It gets very fucking sinister. Like, it starts off pretty normal, and it does a great job of building suspense. You know, Ellie goes to London. She goes in the room like, "Oh, you this girl, yeah," and then you instantly know that her fucking roommate is a bitch. Like, "Oh, you need to do this. Oh, my mother died and all that." It's like, "Oh, my mother died of cancer." It's like, "Oh, that's horrible. You're so brave," and all this kind of fake niceness shit. And then they're like, "Yeah, she cancer. No, she didn't die of cancer. She killed herself," and all that. Same mine did as well. And it's like, "Oh, dude, fuck you," you know. Then they're partying and she's listening to this fucking 60s music. And then the guy's like, "What the hell are you listening to? You listening to this grandmother shit?" I'm like, "First of all, it's better than any of the fucking shit that comes out today." Well, she even says that in the movie. "I just prefer older music." She says it to the grandmother, to the old lady, you know. And you do feel bad for her because she does nearly break down the first time on the phone at the Irish pub. Um, you know, there's a lot of that. You know, there's that amazing scene in the library where the fucking ghosts are chasing after her, where John scares her and she thinks it's the ghost, and then he tries to help out with her, and like they have to find everything on 1966. Oh fuck me, lads! I tell you. Um, and then she's like, "Oh, you're back," and then the ghosts are after her, and then she grabs a knife and she goes, "Fuck this," and nearly stabs the girl, and she's like, "What the actual fuck? Security!" and all that. Um, there's an amazing sequence where they go to a Halloween party. It's like, "I thought you could go there," and it was actually one of the first images that came out of the movie. Like, she has the makeup on and she's like that, and she's dancing, and they like, "Here, girls, have the drink," and you know they drugged it, and um, you know they're dancing away, and the ghosts start attacking. I was like, "What's wrong, Ellie? Come on!" And he's like, I need air." Then they go home, and that's when they go to have sex.